Hey everybody, it's Heather with Diamonds and Dragonflies, and it is, what time is it? I don't know, it's sometime on Tuesday morning. I think it's a little after 9 a.m. I'm very late in filming this. I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to do any videos this week. After a message I received yesterday, I came close to, sorry, I'm putting on my sweater. That's why my hands have disappeared and I don't know what's going on. I'm like fighting it here. Oh my goodness. I am so tired of doing things that I should be able to use both hands for with one hand. Every time I think my right hand is getting better, I have another setback day. Anyway, I actually had given great thought to shutting down my channel. I received a message this week, over the weekend, and it was really upsetting. You know what? Let's back up. Hi, let's start over again. I hope everyone is doing okay today. I do really care, and I really would love for you guys to tell me how you're doing down in the comments. I try to respond to everybody's comments, if nothing else, then at least letting you know that I read it. I try to leave a comment for most of them. Some of them I really just don't even know what to say, or I feel like I'm just being redundant, constantly just saying thanks to everybody, because I would hope that if you've been following my channel for any length of time, that you know that I do thank each and every one of you, that you are all very important to me. Even if you're just a lurker and you've never commented or never reached out and contacted me in any way, you are all very important to me. So before we go any further, let me talk to you about what I'm working on. I am working on, let me get the sticker here. Devouring a Good Book by Randall Spangler. This kit was chosen to be my event entry for the Draw with Spangler event that's taking place this month. It could also be used for some of the other events that I'm doing, which I might be switching to this canvas. I'm having some issues with my other dragon canvas. Not anything wrong with the canvas or the kit. It's my hand that is being a problem. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. What I am, and it's from Diamond Art Club, in case that wasn't evident. What I'm using today, my little cover minders I have here. This is my little red dragon. He's from Galloway's Gallery. And then I have my little, oh, come here. I have my little blue dragon. He's helping, I didn't cut the plastic right, so it's hard for me to cut straight. So I'm just using him to hold it back. My release papers are from Bee's Crafty Corner. She is a Canadian small shop, but she has, in my opinion, some of the best, if not the best, release papers that I have ever used. I really, really, really love her release papers. My pen is from Enabler's Outpost. It is an aluminum hybrid pen. It is very light. I have my single placer is from Diamond Art Club, and so is my thin multi-placer. I think this is the 8. Yeah, this is the 8. Let's see. I'm using my Bella Art de Nicole Caddy this time around. Let me not sit that on the glue. I got my little trash minder here, my little dot tool. I'm using from Pure Bliss Wax Company chocolate chip cookie dough diamond dot putty in my multi-placer. I really love this putty. I know I've been telling you guys I'm going to do a comparison video, and I swear I am. I'm waiting for, I was able to order with the donations to my channel this month, or from February. I was able to order some putty from some other new shops that I had heard of. So I'm just waiting for everything to come in, and then I can sit down and film those. So we've got that all loaded now because I haven't diamond painted up here anyway in the art room. I've been spending a lot of time down in the living room with Athena. So this is from Snark Nonsense. The dot dot tool and this wax. And I've tried using a couple of their stuff and their putty. Not a fan of the putty. And when I do my comparison, I'll talk to you about why. But I really love the wax. What is this called again? Hold on. WIP Wax Spiced Pear. And it smells really good. And I don't even like pears. So, all right, let me grab a color here. Let's do R. And I am kitted up into my Bellatrays for this kit. So, and this is one of their new limited edition trays. Isn't it adorable? It was for Valentine's Day. I don't think it's available anymore. But there was a little gnome girl with her little braids and hearts. And then there was a boy one as well. And I got them both. They've started doing these limited edition specialty trays that are in multicolors. And I love them. I love them, love them, love them. I think it is so awesome that they've gotten printers that can do this. And let's see how this works today. I could not diamond paint with my right hand at all yesterday. It was a really, really bad pain day. I couldn't use my hand literally for anything. I couldn't write with it. I couldn't diamond paint. I couldn't do squat with it. So we'll see how today goes. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone's doing okay with the weather. I know this upcoming Sunday is daylight savings time, which means a lot of us, it screws with everybody, in my opinion. But I kind of feel like those of us who suffer from mental health issues, it kind of screws with us even more. Maybe that's just a personal observation. Maybe it's psychosomatic. Maybe I'm putting that thought into my head. Oh no, it's daylight savings time. It's, I'm going to get screwed. I don't know. I truly don't know. I have not forgotten about the drawings, people. I have 2 to do, the 250 subscriber drawing and who wins the $25 gift card for the donations made to my channel this past month. So that will be forthcoming. I'm probably just going to do it like I did the last time. I'm just going to pop up a quick video and show the wheel. There are a lot more people that entered, obviously, this time around because my channel is bigger. So I have to verify who all commented by the cutoff date, because I know there were some people that they did go and vote for what washi tape, but it was afternoon. It was after 12 o'clock Eastern time on March 1st. So that was 12 p.m. March 1st was Eastern Standard Time was the cutoff. And there were some people that responded on the 2nd or later in the day on the 1st. So I have to take them out. So I have to figure out how to do all of that. I'm still kind of new to all of this. So you'll have to bear with me, please, on that. I mentioned when I first started that I had thought about just quitting my channel, and that is true. I had someone, there had been a person that had reached out to me through my email. And then they had come back at me, and I had responded back, and it was a friendly exchange. They had come back at me, accusing me of some things, and like was feeling kind of harsh towards me. And I'm reading their comment, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I did not say that. I don't have that situation, so I'm kind of, and I'm like, and I kindly responded back, even though I think I've made it very, very blunt and very clear that, you know, one of my main goals in my therapy sessions is to learn how to socially engage with people outside my family. Because I have, you know how you see those signs that say dogs welcome, people tolerated? That's kind of my opinion all the time. People are just kind of tolerated. That has been my experience. I don't have much patience for people. I don't have much patience for stupidity. And that's something that I need to work on. I need to work on that attitude. I need to work on that opinion. I need to work on that feeling. Are there people out there that are just plain stupid? Yes. Yes, there are. I think we've all encountered them on numerous occasions. I think most people would prefer the love of an animal, whether it be a dog or a cat, over that of a person because it's unconditional. It's kind of like the love of a child. You know, it's kind of unconditional. Yeah, this is not going to last long. I'm starting to get pain in my right hand. So I think we're going to have to switch. Okay. It's, hang on, I got to reorient myself here. I very graciously kept my cool, and I responded, and I said, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure you have me confused with somebody else, with a different creator, because what you're talking about is not even something that is a part of, you know, it's not about me. That hasn't happened to me. I didn't say it happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about. They came back. They apologized, said yes, they had gotten me confused with someone else. Okay, that's fine. This was someone that out of the blue decided to asked for my address to send something to Samantha for her birthday. In hindsight, after talking with my therapist, I should have never given my address out. That was pretty stupid of me. That was very dumb. I think about, there are some other creators who, yes, they get Happy Meal. They opened a P.O. box to get things sent to them so that people didn't have their home address. I mean, they get packages delivered to their address, you know, like from small shops, like if you were ordering something from a business, but not from individual people that they don't know. And, you know, whereas I thought that my therapist was going to be happy that I was opening up, she was actually pretty upset with me. And And some of you might be saying, well, oh, well, is that okay for your therapist to get upset with you? Emma and I have a different relationship. She's been treating me for 5 years. And I have serious trust issues. And when she met me, I had even more serious trust issues than I do now. In order for me to even trust anything that she had to say, we had to build a bond. So we have a very different dynamic than most people have with their therapists. It is necessary because of my disorder, in order for her to be able to treat me and help me. It has not crossed any ethical boundaries. It's just a little different. It just looks a little different. And I need someone who's going to call me on my shit. And that if I'm not doing things in a proper manner, or I'm being reckless, I need her to be able to tell me that. Carte blanche. And I don't have patience for the whole, oh, well, let's bring the client, you know, around to my way of thinking, or let's get her to see this for herself. You know, it's like, no, you need to just tell me. You know, just lay it on the line. None of this, you know, psychobabble bullshit. So she was very concerned that I had given out my home address. She was concerned that I was talking with people that I didn't know on Facebook Messenger, that I was talking to some of them on the phone through Facebook Messenger. She was very worried. She was very concerned. There are a lot of psychos out there, and she was concerned. And probably rightfully so. So, she was not happy that I had given out my home address. Well, the item came, and it came for Samantha. It's not mine to open. It is Samantha's to open. Sammy does not live here. I assumed that it was from this person, even though it was shipped directly from a company. It did not come from a individual. Like, it did not have her name on it as the person who had sent it on the packaging. It had the company that it was ordered from. I did not open it. I waited till Samantha got here. Sammy arrived on the 23rd of February. On the 24th, we did her birthday because my son was only going to be here for that day. He was not going to be here on Sunday or Monday. So we did Sammy's birthday celebration on the 24th. And she opened it. I immediately emailed the person later that day, told them that Samantha loved it, thanked her profusely from Samantha. I have Sammy on video opening it, but and that's something else that we'll talk about. I don't know whether those videos will ever see the light of YouTube. So probably not, to be honest with you. It's probably, if it gets shared anywhere, it's probably only going to get shared on my Patreon, where it is a smaller private group of individuals as opposed to the whole world to see. I have to protect my daughter. I need to protect my family a little more, especially after the message that I received from this person. Not that I was threatened. That is not the case. I was not threatened in any way, shape, or form. It was not hostile. It was emotionally upsetting. They accused me of not being appreciative. I don't know what more they wanted from me. You know, why didn't you tell me it arrived? I didn't know it was from you. Okay? I had a couple of people, not just that one person, ask me for my address to send something to Sammy for her birthday. I didn't know it was from her. And I didn't open the package. When Sammy opened it and I knew it was from her, I emailed her and I thanked her and told her that Samantha very much enjoyed it, and that was very thoughtful of her and very kind. I didn't ask anyone to send anything to Samantha. Am I grateful that people did? Of course. Of course I'm grateful. Of course I am happy and appreciative and thought that that was very kind and thoughtful. And, you know, Sammy loves it. I talked to her on the phone this past weekend and I asked her what she was doing, and her staff had her FaceTime with me and she showed me that she was literally sitting there wrapped up in the blanket. It's got her name on it. She loves it. And I'm so grateful. But I didn't ask you to send it to her. And, you know, I don't know. This person kind of accused me of not giving a crap about you all. She implied, and that is a yucky drill that somehow I missed and placed of the other color. Let me grab that real quick. See, this is why I love working out of trays, because I don't have to dump another color out or in or wait or have to go, oh crap, where was that one? I can just grab the tray and put that one in. Okay. And now I can put it back and I can resume what I was doing. It is such a, is it expensive? Yes, it is expensive. I am not going to lie. When I think about how much money I spent last year buying trays to be able to kit up, I kind of feel a little queasy and sick to my stomach. Had it been over the course of a few years, that it wouldn't have been bad. You know, I think I've made it abundantly clear that I got myself into trouble financially with all the purchasing that I was doing. We're coming out of it. It's fine. I'm jumping topics here. Let me go back. We'll get back to that in a minute. This person accused me basically of hustling, I guess you could say. You know, I say that I don't have money, that we're broke. She's like, well, I want to be broke like you because every time I turn around, you're, you know, showing stuff that you bought. Let me make something abundantly clear with my small shop hauls. So that there is no misconception here whatsoever. %80 of the things that I have shown since the first of the year as small shop hauls were ordered months earlier. If you have ordered from small shops, you know that a lot of times you're looking at 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes longer, to receive your item. I have waited as long as 6 weeks to receive some trays from other companies. Bijou Bliss is one in particular that comes to mind, especially if you are doing a custom. The only time I have ever received a Bijou Bliss tray in a quick turnaround was the Nautical November event tray that they did last November, and that is because they printed a whole bunch of them ahead of time. And that's the only thing I ordered, was just that tray. The same month, I ordered a special custom tray to be done for Night Court November from them. And I didn't get it till Christmas. And I ordered it the beginning of November. Okay, so it took almost 2 months to get it. It is what it is. That's the risk you take. She was very upfront. It's not like I was blindsided. And it's fine. You know, you just know that that's what's going to be the case. I hold on to packages. I have packages that are sitting here that I ordered back the end of December that I still haven't opened because I'm waiting for some other things that I ordered to come in, so that I have a few things so that I can do a small shop haul and show you 3 or 4 different things. Any purchases that I have made since the beginning of January have come from one of 2 sources. They have either come from me winning gift cards at events, which I have been very lucky this past 2 months. I won multiple prizes from Be the Hero DP Along. I won a weekly prize drawing for a gift card. And then I won 2 grand prize drawings from them. I won a gift card from Nautical November that I did not use until the end of December, beginning of January. That was to DP with Sparklers. I won a gift card to Mon Chéri. That just came in. I won a prize pack from Whimsical Daisy. That has not arrived yet. I'm getting a Not Your Mama's Mud bundle. That has not arrived yet. So I'm still waiting for that to come in. I entered some waffles on Facebook. I won an Enablers Outpost gift card. I used that to buy a pen that I shared on my channel. The prize winning pen, I ordered that in December. Other things that I have ordered have come from the money that has been donated to my channel. I had people that bought me a coffee in December, or well, actually in November, in December, in January, and in February. I just recently requested a payout from February because I need to be able to get the gift card to give to whoever wins for that drawing, who donated and is going to get a $25 gift card to one of those 3 small shops. So that payout will not happen until Friday. They process them on Wednesdays. I requested it this weekend. So they will process it on Wednesday and it will hit my bank account on Friday. When the first month of donations, they made you wait 30 days before you could withdraw. So I waited till there were sales. I waited till there was a coupon code. I tend to make purchases from small shops that are sponsoring events that I am participating in. I received birthday money and Christmas money from my mother-in-law. I used all of that to buy diamond painting stuff, and she was very generous and gave me quite a bit of money, which allowed me to buy from a lot of shops. That was not my money. When I tell you that the money that you donate to my channel goes back into my channel, that is exactly what it happens. It does not pay my electric bill. It does not buy me groceries. It does not pay for Athena's care unless you donated to Athena's care, which 3 people have so generously done, and I greatly appreciate it. It covered her vet bill last week, and it allowed me to buy another case of her food and pay for her new prescription, which is extremely expensive, that I don't know how. Well, we'll get to Athena in a minute. The money that is donated to my channel, I use that to do the drawings for you guys, to do the subscriber giveaways. I use that to buy things to test out. I've been buying a lot of putty from different places because I want to do this comparison, because the most number one question I see asked is, can someone recommend a putty for me or a wax for me? And I have spent time looking just for myself. And I will tell you, it does vary, sometimes day to day. But I want to give you an overview of the different types of putty and test them out and be able to show you so that you can make a choice. There is another company that I need to buy from. Her stuff, though, is very cheap, and you get free shipping with $12 worth of sales. So I'm going to, as soon as the Buy Me a Coffee payout happens, I'm going to be making a purchase from her because I'm hearing wonderful things about it regarding ABs. So stay tuned. We might be blowing this woman's business out of the water. That she's going to be riding the tide high for a while. If it turns out that what people are saying is true, and I can verify it for myself, that this putty does not take the shine off and it does not pull the putty out of your pen, you've got yourself a winner. I am struggling so badly with cerulean with the ABs. They're beautiful. They are the most gorgeous looking, most beautiful ABs I've ever used. But oh my God, they don't even like the dirty wax. They don't like my wax pencil, which has been my, they either don't stick to it and I can't pick them up, or they won't let go. So I guess there's something to be said about having too good of diamonds. I don't know. Because they're gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful ABs, but man, am I having difficulty. And I can't do tweezers with my left hand. And, so that's why that kit might have to sit for a little while until my right hand is more functional. I have spent no more than $35 out of my own paychecks, or I should say my husband's paychecks, since the first of the year. I haven't been able to withdraw my Patreon money because they are holding it for 30 days. So I will have that money to pull from to make purchases. I just recently made some purchases and used the last of my birthday and Christmas money to make a couple of purchases. I also got I won some gift cards off another site that does giveaways and drawings all the time, which allowed me to buy the first diamond paintings of the year that I have purchased with, I guess you could say, my own money. And that's where I ended up spending $25 of my own money because I didn't have enough to cover all of the kits. I won a gift card to a diamond painting company of my choice. I chose Bella Art Diamonds because they had their new release drop this past Saturday. And I used it to purchase 3 kits. I still owed $25 after my gift card. I asked my husband if it was okay. He said yes. And there you have it. We have our tax refund coming in. He has generously told me that I can have $200 of it for my channel to make purchases for my stuff because I have almost paid off. In 2 weeks, I will have paid off all of my Afterpay and 80% of my Sezzle. And Afterpay was that was the big one. I had over $2,000 that I had charged from last year. It has been very difficult for me to not spend here recently because I have made it very clear in my mental health check-ins that when I get upset and I am depressed and having emotional reactivity, I like to buy things to make myself feel better. I have very much wanted to buy the past 2 weeks because of what's going on with Athena. I want to thank everyone that reached out to me over the weekend. I was in a very dark place. I should have been riding high in the fact that my daughter was here, my youngest. She is my BFF. She's my mini-me. And I hadn't seen her since Christmas. I had been looking so forward to her coming home. And I was so grateful she was here because I probably would have dove headfirst into the rabbit hole and not come out if she hadn't been. I was in a really, really bad place. She is actually coming by today. She's still in town. She's been with her father since Sunday night. She's coming by on her way home to see me for a little bit and to spend a little time with Athena before she heads back to campus. I couldn't stop crying all day Saturday and Sunday. Emily tried to distract me on Sunday. I used to get upset and I used to clean. That's when the house would sparkle. And our house is please, no shade on my husband here, but my husband is not he's not the cleaning kind of guy. Every now and then he'll get a wild hair up his ass and he'll go on a cleaning spree of his area. But overall, he's not someone who's going to come down, see that there's dog hair everywhere, and break out the vacuum or the broom. That's just not him. That's not how his brain works. I have always been in charge of the cleaning and, taking care of the house. He has had to take on doing the dishes. It was funny. Emily got here before we did on Friday. She arrived while we were still in Maryland at the vet with Athena. We walked into the house and, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, there we go. We walked into the house and I went into the kitchen and the first thing I noticed was that the dishwasher was running and the sink was almost empty. And I looked at her and I said, "Did you do the dishes?" And she goes, "Yes." And I said, "Honey, thank you so much. And my husband was like, Em, you didn't have to do that. And she's like, I know, she says, but I know you guys have had a lot on your plate. And she's like, and quite frankly, it was giving me anxiety. The stack of dishes was taller than I was. And it was. We were pretty much down to washing it by hand because we needed to use it because it hadn't been cleaned. I can't do the dishes. I can't load the dishwasher. It is too hard on my back, the bending, and I can't use my, right hand to hold things and lift things. And I have an extra thing here and I don't need it. We're done that color. Yay. Okay. Sorry. I think I hit the camera. She was a great help. We binge watched Vox Machina, the Critical Role cartoon. Yes, we are D&D junkies in this house. Up until the time that my husband went to rehab, we were at a local gaming store playing and gaming like 3 times a week. My husband was running a campaign at our house. Have not played D&D since he went to rehab. My daughter, though, still actively plays in a game online on Sundays. So she tried to distract me. I sat and watched. While we were binge watching the show, Athena was up on the couch with her head in my lap, and I just laid there and I petted her and I just loved on her. But I couldn't stop crying. I would look at her and I would just burst into tears. I would try to diamond paint and I would just start sobbing. I didn't diamond paint at all on Saturday. Sunday, Emily tried to engage with me that some of the Craft Buddy Disney stickers that my dear friend Laureen sent for Sammy and I to do together. Emily sat and did a few of them with me. She did all the villains, Laureen. She said, damn it, I'm doing the villains. I was like, okay. It wasn't until later that she realized that all the villains had the most drills in them than any of the others that were in there, except maybe the princesses. But we saved the princesses for Samantha. I'll get up and grab them in a minute, and I'll show them to you guys. They're super cool. The order from Craft Buddy that I placed finally arrived yesterday. It said it was going to be here on the 21st of February. It finally got out of customs and showed up here yesterday. I haven't even opened it yet. It has the sticker album in it and then some of the packs for the next time Sammy comes to visit. But I used money since Sammy, I ordered it after Sammy and I did the, I used her birthday money. She got some money for her birthday. And we take care of all of Sammy's needs ourselves. So, and all of her expenses. So my husband's like, she really enjoyed doing that. Why don't you order, some stuff, and that's stuff she can do when she comes here. So I was like, okay, cool. So that's what we did. But I did 4. They were very small. I was done. Emily's had she was still working on her second when I'd finished doing 4. And she's like, Mom, why don't you do some more? And I was like, no, it's all right. I wasn't into it. I wasn't feeling it. So I just sat there and watched her diamond paint. She told me how much she was actually enjoying it. It was the first time I'd ever gotten her to diamond paint with me. And she's like, this is actually kind of relaxing. But she's like, I can't afford to start another hobby. She's like, I can't afford to buy dice for D&D. Not that she needs any. But, you know. She said something to me while we were diamond painting that really made me sad. She said to me about how unhappy she is because she doesn't have a life outside of work. Emily used to go to concerts all the time. She's even gone to concerts by herself. She hasn't been to a concert. I mean, granted, I haven't either. The last concert she attended was the last concert I've attended. Her, me, and her stepfather in September of 2022 went to Scranton and saw Ice Nine Kills, Motionless in White, and Black Veil Brides. Bleh. I went for BVB. They went for Motionless in White. We all like BVB. I don't care for Motionless in White. There's like one song, and I don't even remember what it's called, that I kind of like by them, but I'm not a fan. And none of us were really familiar with Ice Nine Kills at the time. It was a great show, great concert. But none of us had been to a concert since September of 2022. Emily used to go to 2 or 3 a year. She works full-time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at her one job in town. She's got about a half an hour drive, so she leaves for work around 8 in the morning, and she gets home a little after 4, provided that she doesn't need to make any stops in town, because she tries to, she's very much like me in, I am the kind of person that if I'm going to run errands, let's just do it now. Once I get back home, I don't want to have to go back out. It used to drive me crazy when I was a stay-at-home mom and my husband worked a half an hour away, in the fact that I would want to run errands with him. I would be like, just come by, pick me up, because we only had one car for a very long time. So I could not go and run errands during the day because he was taking the vehicle to work. Come by, pick me up, and let's go run errands. Nope. He wanted to come home. He wanted to eat dinner and then go out. And it drove me crazy because no, that is not what I wanted to do. I don't want to have to go back out, kind of deal. So she, you know, if she does a Walmart pickup or something, or curbside pickup for dog food for Juno, or if she's got to go to the pharmacy and pick up her medication, you know, she stops while she's already in town. Now, she lives on top of a mountain, is where her school is. I think it's funny because their mascot is called the Hilltoppers. They're not on a hill. They're on a mountain. But she likes to run all the errands, you know, before she comes home. Monday and Wednesday, she has class at 6 o'clock from 6 to 9. So on the 2 days that she's in town at work, she runs her errands, she comes home, she does things around her house, you know, throws in laundry, loads the dishwasher, preps her meals for the next day, makes herself something to eat, takes care of Juno, takes Juno for a long walk. And then she has to leave Juno again and go to class on campus. Her Monday and Wednesday classes are in person. And she walks over and goes to, you know, class. All right, let's see if I can multi-place a little with my right. Now that I've let it relax a little. And then she goes to bed. Tuesdays, she has her own therapy session from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. Telehealth now. She used to have to get up and actually go in, but our insurance does not charge you a copay for telehealth therapy sessions. They started that during COVID and they've stuck with it. They did go back to telehealth medical appointments. We have to pay a copay again, but not for mental health. So she, you know, is doing telehealth now to save the $20 copay each week. She figures that's $80 a month she's saving. Then she goes to work at the clinic on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, Thursday she doesn't have therapy. She just has, so she gets up a little later on Thursdays. She gets to sleep in a little bit. But then she goes to the clinic on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she's at the clinic until 5:30. On Tuesdays, she has Zoom class till 6, or at 6. So she gets home, she's got a half an hour. She's got long enough to take Juno on a quick walk, and then she's got class. Now, granted, she doesn't have to leave her apartment because it is a Zoom class, but she has class. She does not have class Thursdays or Fridays. She was telling me how her roommate was asking her to do stuff. Oh, here's another one of the limited edition trays. The original Minnie Mouse and Steamboat Willie became public domain. So you don't need licensing for those. So they did this is still available. There's a Minnie Mouse tray, and hang on, let me find, there it is. And then there's a Steamboat Willie tray. And then they also did the original Alice in Wonderland. So they do have the classic original non-Disney Winnie the Pooh from A.A. Milne and Tigger. That trays, I just recently ordered those. So they have not arrived yet. They have not come in yet. I used another previous gift card, and I had reward points from the kits that I bought. So I was able to place an order for those. Some of the specialty trays. Plus, I sold a whole bunch of my trays that money went back into my channel. So my husband told me to just take that and put it back into my channel. So that was another part. I still have some kits I need to list because I'm trying to... I have too many kits in my stash. And I have kits that I don't see myself actually doing that I want to get rid of. And then, of course, I have one unicorn kit that I could have had, but I snoozed on it. I decided I was going to wait till Saturday to see if there was any new releases that I wanted to get with the last of my money. And it was gone when I went to go get it. So I got nothing. So it's the Alice in Wonderland scene that has like all the characters on it. It was released either Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I can't remember which. I owned it. I had to sell it to be able to make some payments. And I've been waiting for it to restock. And it finally did. And like I said, I snoozed on it and it was gone. So, oh well. But her roommate, you know, asked her a couple of different times, hey, do you want to go do blah, 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 blah? Nope, I'm good, thanks. And so, you know, she's like, oh, well, okay. But then Saturday came around and she told her, she said to Emily, you know, well, Liz is their upstairs neighbor. She was Ashley's roommate for 2 years in the dorm. Liz and I are going to go do blah, 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 blah. Oh, hey, can I come? And she's like, Ashley was like, okay, I've asked you all week if you wanted to go and you said no. So I waited till Saturday because that's when Liz could go and now you want to go. She said, I haven't left the house yet. Emily didn't want to have to come home after already being in town, driving around, or being at work at the clinic, and turn around and go back out. Just like me. I'm exactly the same way. I would have been like, nope. Now, the difference between the two of us is that I would have said to Ashley, not tonight, but if you want, we can go on Saturday. That would have been my response. Whereas with Emily, it was just nope. Because she doesn't think that far ahead. And that's okay. That's what makes her her. But it made me really sad. My daughter will graduate next spring with her master's degree in clinical psychology. She does not want to move back home. I don't know how she's going to be able to afford to not move back home and still pay her student loans. She'll have 6 months before she has to start making payments on them. I don't want her to wait that long. She is not going to be in as much trouble as her brother. Her school was not nearly as expensive as William's school. William had $140,000, $150,000 in private student loans for the 5 years that his program was. And then he had $31,000 in federal loans. So William, when he graduated, had over $180,000 in student loan debt. Emily has 97,000 in private loans, and she will have about 40,000 in federal loans because her graduate school is covered in full by federal loans. So she's going to be about 140,000. But a good chunk of hers is going to be federal loans, which gives you a lot more options. I was really hoping, for the sake of both of my children, that the $20,000 loan forgiveness was going to happen. Simply because it was going to greatly benefit my children. It is really sad that in order to make a decent living these days, you need a college education. But in order to get a college education, you have to go into debt, serious debt, to be able to do it. A friend of mine just finished paying off his student loans. He's in his 40s. He's 45. And just finished paying off his student loans. That's really sad. I hope she's going to be able to afford to stay for her sake. She is looking at the fact that this summer she will be working full-time, 5 days a week at her Monday, Wednesday, Friday job. She will not be working on campus. And she will be doing that going into the fall semester as well. She will be making way more money than she is now working the 2 jobs. She is hoping to pay off a bunch of credit card debt and get rid of that, and to potentially be able to put some money into savings because she wants to have money put away in case she needs to get a new car, and so that she has money to take her licensing tests, and because the one is like, she can't remember if it was $600 or $900. Either way, it's insane. She needs to have money put aside for, an apartment, because right now she lives on campus. She's in an apartment, but the apartment complex is owned and ran by the school, so it's covered through, it's considered room and board, so it's covered by her loans. It's considered on-campus housing. So, but, she's not going to be able to live there after she graduates. But her professors had stated the fact that they wanted the kids to not start their internships this summer until June 1st, which would be 3 weeks after the end of the semester. They wanted them to have a 3-week break to be able to recharge, go home, relax, etc. Well, Emily can't do that. She wants to look at maybe being able to take a week off. I'm hoping that she will be able to do that. So we've got our fingers crossed that she'll be able to come home for a week. I mean, it'll probably work out to be like 10 days. But before she goes back and starts full time. This week is spring break. She has the whole week off of school. The clinic is closed, so the clinic is closed on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so she wouldn't be working those days. But she could only afford to take 1 day off of work. She doesn't get paid when she's only part-time, so she does not get, paid time off. So when she's not there, she's not getting paid. And she couldn't afford to take off more than one day. So that was yesterday. She needs to be back at work tomorrow. I feel very bad for my child. Yes, she is 23. She is not a little kid anymore. But I hate that she doesn't have a social life. She said to me, she's like, it's a good thing that I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, because I wouldn't have time to see them. She sits and she watches her friend, her roommate, has a boyfriend. Now he's back home. He's a back home boyfriend, but he comes down a couple times a month. But she's an undergrad. She does work on campus a couple of days a week for some pocket money. But her parents are able to pay her bills. She is in state, so her education was even cheaper because she was not out of state. Emily is, out of state. Now, not for graduate school, they don't do in-state now, out of state. It's the same for both. But while she was doing her undergrad, she was considered out of state. She actually got kind of lucky because they're in that little panhandle. They had another option. It was considered the tri-state. If you lived in Maryland, Pennsylvania, or Ohio, you got a little cheaper than out of state, but not as cheap as in state. So that was kind of a neat function that, they had for their students. So that was kind of cool. But, I hate that she struggles like this. I hate that she doesn't have the ability to come home for holidays and breaks. That she has all of these responsibilities at her age. Now, I had Samantha when I was 20 years old. But my mother paid all my expenses. I lived at home. In exchange for me doing the housework and the laundry and the grocery shopping and all of that stuff, my mother provided room and board for me and Samantha. Then I moved in with my boyfriend, who became the father of William and Emily. And I went back to work part-time. And when we had William, I became a stay-at-home mom because I would have been paying working to pay the daycare. It saved us more money for me to not work and stay at home and raise our children than it did for me to go to work and pay for daycare. Because come the summer, when Sammy would have been full-time daycare for her, because she was in school during the school year, we would have been taking money from my husband's paycheck to pay for daycare. So we deemed that it was not worth it. And I became a stay-at-home mom for the next 17 years. I was very fortunate in that. I was, an extreme couponer. I tried to save us money every chance I got. I did all that kind of stuff. But, my daughter does not have that luxury. And it makes me sad that she doesn't have that luxury. And I know it's part of being an adult. It's part of growing up. But to have her tell me, Mom, I have no life. My life is work. Does she love what she does? Yes. She loves her job, which is what she will tell you allows her to get by with it. That it's not all consuming for her, that she doesn't really have a life outside of work and school. All she has is D&D on Sunday for 3 hours. That's the only thing that she does on a regular basis for herself. That's it. So it's a good thing that she does love her job and she loves what she's doing. That's the one thing that makes me very happy, is that both her and her brother are doing something that they are passionate about and that they love. So at least they don't wake up every morning dreading going to work. William dreads the fact that he has to work a second job in order to pay his student loans. But he hates that part of his life. And I can't say I blame him. But at least he loves his full-time day job. And he's doing something that he loves. He just hates his commute. But there is no way that he can afford to move and live closer to his job. Unfortunately. Athena. Wow, we're over an hour already. Okay, sorry guys, this is probably going to be another long one. So we went to the vet on Friday. I was happy at first because she had gone from weighing 88 pounds to weighing 65 pounds when we had been there 2 weeks earlier. She was now 74 pounds. So she had gained 9 pounds back. I was very happy about that. I was positive she had gained weight because she was, she didn't look like Skeletor. Because she was looking like there was just skin and fur pulled over her spine. And that was no longer the case. So I was fairly certain that she had gained weight back. So I was very happy about that. We get in there. They did her toenails. They drew her blood. They were running it. She was very affectionate, very engaged with everybody there, that they were very pleased with her demeanor and, her socializing. Then we got her blood work back. Her hematocrit had been an 11. which was borderline low, it was now a 9. So whereas they wanted it to go up, it had dropped down further. The vet was very concerned. They increased her prednisone from, she was taking 40 milligrams, 20 milligrams twice a day. They increased it to 80 milligrams, 40 milligrams twice a day. And we needed to add an immunosuppressant to help try and suppress the autoimmune disease. If you are new, Athena is my 7-year-old bull mastiff who has recently been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. She has hemicolectic anemia. Her body is attacking her red blood cells and is killing them and is working to prevent her from producing more. At that point, the vet was highly under the impression that she was not producing any more red blood cells and that her body was burning off what she had in order to survive. We asked if she was suffering, and she said no. There is no signs whatsoever that she is suffering. It is just making her tired. And we had noticed that she would exhaust very easily. She was becoming very weak. There was no evidence of any other type of organ failure or anything like that, which is something we have to be concerned with because your red blood cells provide oxygen to your organs to allow them to function. So they wanted to prescribe her this medication that she has to get from a human pharmacy. It is actually used for kidney and liver transplant patients to prevent rejection. She wanted to give her 75 milligram tablets once a day. Well, when we looked up the price for the 75 milligram tablets online, it was going to cost $174. We were able to get it a little cheaper in that we are doing the 50 milligram tablets, which seem to cost less. And she has to do 1.5 tablets. So I'm splitting one of the tablets. So she gets 1.5 tablets a day. Which of course makes me nervous because then you're like, wow, is she really getting half? You know, I don't like it when you have to split medication. It worries me that they're not getting the proper dose at least once a day. Once every 2 days, I guess, or whatever. She only wrote it for 9 days. We go back on Saturday because it is so expensive. She did not want us to buy, pay $200 or close to it for a month's supply if it wasn't working. So it was $70 for 9 days worth of pills. So it's very expensive. The prednisone was not a big deal. That was like $10. If it is working, she will be on it forever. She will never be able to come off of it. She will be on it until the day she dies. The hope is that if it is working, that eventually, once she is able to replenish and go 3 months with a stabilized hematocrit, that is well within the normal range, not, you know, just barely in the normal range, that she will be able to go to an every other day treatment where one day she will get the steroid, the next day she will get this medication. I don't even know how you pronounce it. It begins AZA, so I just call it the AZA medication. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to be able to afford it because it's going to run close to $200 a month. It's going to be like $175 a month. However, I did read that it said that if it was working, you would be able to tell within just a few doses, because the symptoms would stop getting worse, because they would progressively getting worse, and she was getting worse every day. She rests a lot. She sleeps a lot. But then, you know what? They all do, and they do that a lot. It's in other things like she won't come upstairs. The steps are too much for her. She can't get up on the couch. She can't jump. She's very slow going up and down the steps to get to the yard. She has to stop when she gets to the patio because she has to do one step to get up into the house. And she gets to the patio, she stands at the door, she waits a few minutes, and then she's able to come into the house. She needs to like regather her energy. She's eating. She's actually gotten to the point where she's being picky now. We got chicken livers that my husband is cooking up for her. They are high in iron and protein. She loves them. So right now she is refusing to eat her kibble, but she will eat the high-calorie wet food and the chicken livers. So that is what we are giving her. She's having oranges daily with me. She loves the little like halo mandarin oranges. She's having fresh strawberries with me. She was having frozen banana. I have to chop up some. I chop up fresh bananas and put them on a piece of parchment paper. And then I freeze them a little bit so that they become firm. And then I pull them back out and I put peanut butter on top of them. And then I put them back in the freezer. And then I use them as treats for the dogs. So they all go crazy over them. We have to be very careful with the treats we get because Rhea has a chicken allergy. So she can't have anything that's got chicken meal, chicken byproduct, you know. She needs poultry free. And there's not a whole lot of snacks out there that you can get that way. And the ones you can are extremely expensive. So we have gone more the all-natural route with our treats for the dogs. Last night, we had gone through the drive-through a couple of months ago. And they had messed up our order. And we had to sit and wait for like ever for our food. And the manager came out and gave us some free Happy Meal coupons. So last night we went and we got a Happy Meal, a cheeseburger Happy Meal. And I brought it home and I took it off the bun. And we get it plain, so it's just got cheese and the meat. And gave it to Athena. Oh my God, she was in heaven. Because that's high in iron as well, red meat. So she's eating, she's drinking, she's going to the bathroom. We've noticed she's been more engaged with us. I've started spending half the day in the living room diamond painting, so I'm downstairs with her. She's usually in the kitchen or her office, aka the bathroom, which was normal. That's where she was before she got sick. So that's not new behavior. But when she knows I'm downstairs, she'll come out to the living room now and she'll lay in the dog bed next to the chair where I'm sitting with my folding table, diamond painting down there. Last night, her and I cuddled on the couch and we watched a movie. I watched Bring It On, the cheerleading movie. My husband came down and laughed at us. And it was funny. He came down, he was laughing at us, and Athena looked at him like, "You better stop laughing at my mommy." I was like, "Yeah, don't you upset the pickle. She likes this." So that's Athena's nickname is Pickle. She had a toy that was a pickle that she loved as a pup, and I used to eat dill pickles all the time, and she wanted one day. She was sitting there and she was begging for me to give her one of my pickles, and I'm like, "I don't think you're gonna like this." But I gave her a piece of it, and boy, the look she made, but she loved it. She ate it down and she wanted more. But she makes this horrid face. But she loves it and she'll eat it. So between that and her toy, that was a pickle, we started calling her Pickle. I'm afraid to be encouraged by what I'm hoping is improvement. I'm afraid to get my hopes up that the medication is working. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I can say she is not getting any worse. We are not seeing a decline in her health. Sunday, it was really warm here and sunny. She went outside. She spent a couple hours outside just laying in the sun, which is something that she used to love to do. That just last year, she was doing before the weather got overcast and, winter set in. So that was nice. So we're taking one day at a time. We go back Saturday and we will see. I am not a religious person. I grew up going to Sunday school. I attended church regularly until shortly after Emily was born. We kind of stopped, and it was just holidays. It was just too much getting 3 kids ready to go to church, and Emily did not sleep more than 2 hours at a time for the first 6 months of her life. That, it was just too much. And our church was a half an hour away on top of it. So, and I had issues. I don't know whether I believe in God or not. I don't know. Part of me thinks that it's just our way of wanting to think that we go on after, not wanting to believe that this is it. because that makes it really, really fucking scary. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I've prayed a lot the last few days. If you would have asked me 6 months ago which dog I was the most attached to, the answer would have been Rhea. Atlas is 100% a daddy's boy. He is miserable when his father is not here on the days that he has to go into the office. He acts out. He misbehaves. And he does not behave until daddy steps back into the house because he's pissed off that his father's not here. We got Athena and Titan, from the same litter at the same time. Athena has always been Kirk's dog. Titan was mine. Titan was Mama's boy. You know how you see on TV or the things on the internet about, if your dog had to choose which, one parent stands at one end, one parent stands at the other end, which parent is the dog going to choose to go to? We would have never been able to do that because Titan would have never left my side. He was 100% Mommy's dog from the day we brought him home. Athena would have chosen her daddy over me any day of the week. It's funny how when they get sick or they're not doing well or they're hurt, how they all want their mommy. Kirk made the comment yesterday because he works from home on Mondays that he came down to the kitchen and Athena was laying on the floor in front of the water bowl and she didn't even lift her head. She didn't wag her tail, nothing when he came in. She looked at him. She followed him with her eyes, but there was no other interaction. I came into the room a few minutes later. I had not even spoken to her yet. Her tail started to wag, her head, she lifted her head and she looked at me. And I was like, well, hello. He's like, wow, she was happy to see you. He's like, I didn't even get a tail wag on the floor. I had a doctor's appointment. Last night we got home and he came into the house first because I'm slow. And I came in and she actually got up and walked over and greeted me. And he's like, she could have given a rat's ass that I came in the house. He's like, what is going on here? You are my dog. Nope, she's Mommy's girl now. She is 100% Mama's baby now. So he's just going to have to get used to it. Losing her brother was the most traumatic experience of my life. Especially losing him at the age of 5. I'm not ready to say goodbye. I'm not ready to let her go. And I don't think I have to. And I prayed very hard, begging God to save her. So, is this turnaround this week? Is it real? is God throwing me a bone? Am I going to go Saturday and find out that her numbers have at least not dropped, but are climbing? I sure as hell hope so. I sat and told my husband Saturday, I was in here, art room, just sitting here crying. And I said, what do you think I could get for my entire diamond painting collection if I sold all of my accessories, if I sold every kit I had? Could I get enough money together to be able to do the blood transfusion, which is $5,000? And he said, and how are you going to feel if you do and you sell it all in time to save her? Because that was his issue. Are you going to be able to sell it all in time? Are you going to be able to sell it and raise $5,000 in 2 or 3 days? Because that's what we're looking at that point. I'd do anything. I will do anything that I have to do to save her. So if that means that I have to sell more and more and more of my stash and my accessories to be able to afford her medication for the rest of her life, then that's what I will do. I'm not going down without a fight. And over the weekend, I had lost hope. I don't know that I have hope right now, more that I'm ready for a fight. I have the strength in me to fight for her. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight for her. I am not going to be, how do I want to put this? Promoting, I guess, the ways that you can support my channel, the ways that you can help contribute to Athena's care if you are so inclined. The information will be down in the description box on every video that I do. There will be the link to buy me a coffee/snowball. There will be the link to my Patreon. There will be the information to my Venmo and PayPal if you want to contribute toward Athena's care and make a donation. It is greatly appreciated. It is never expected. I don't sit around and go, why the hell isn't anyone contributing? I don't do that. Yes, when I first started the Buy Me a Coffee, I was like, why doesn't anyone want to help support my channel? When I see, you know, all of these patrons that so many other creators have. And, you know, and then I realized, you know what, it's not about that. The number one thing for me with my Patreon is that's a way for me to get to know you guys. I am very grateful for the 2 subscribers that I have. I have thought about increasing the benefits for the lowest tier that they're doing. because I feel bad that they're not getting a lot of the other benefits from the other things that cost more money a month. Because believe me, people, I know how tough money is. We stopped at the grocery store last night and we picked up like 5 bags worth of groceries. And it was $101 before my bonus card kicked in. And my husband was like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Which we stopped at the grocery store in Maryland on Friday because I make this Italian dish that takes these certain types of San Giorgio noodles called Trio Italiano, and they don't sell them up here. I've asked the grocery store to carry them. They did order them, and they had them for a couple of months, and I was kind of like the only person that bought them, so they did not continue to stock them. So now when we go to the vet in Maryland, every now and then I will go in and I will pick up a couple of boxes. Well, I hadn't had a chance to go to the grocery store to get some things I needed for Emily coming home. And on Saturday, I was going to make this Italian dish. It's her favorite. And I needed the noodles. So I said, I'm just going to run into the store here and I will grab what I need for the meal and the few things that were on that list. It was like $63, but I was looking at the price of everything. Like I needed a bag for her snack, of the bite-sized tortilla chips, Tostitos tortillas. And I'm used to paying, I mean, back in the day, like 2 years ago, it was like close to $3 a bag. It wasn't even the party size bag, and it was $5.79. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? What the hell? I went to get cream cheese. Well, they had the 2-pack of Philadelphia cream cheese was $7.99 for a 2-pack. So $4 a bar. Right next to it was the store brand that was 2 for $4. So I was able to get 8 bars of cream cheese for the price of 2 of the brand name. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on here? I needed my 0 sugar lemonade. $3.89 a container. I'm used to getting it 2 for $5. Well, yesterday we were in the grocery store back here in PA. And I happened to take notice of some of the prices. And I'm like, well, thank God we don't live in Maryland anymore. Because everything was cheaper up here. Gas might be more expensive up here and cheaper in Maryland, but not the groceries. So I was like, oh dear God in heaven. So yeah, I was just like, holy cow. I can't even. So it is what it is. All right, let's see. We've been going for, holy cow, almost 2 hours. All right, just real quick. So I did go to see pain management yesterday. They are changing my medication. I've been doing hydrocodone. They are switching me to oxycodone. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we're going to see. I am going to only be taking it 3 times a day versus right now I do 10 milligrams 4 times a day of hydrocodone. I'm going to be doing 10 milligrams 3 times a day of oxycodone with 800 ibuprofen once a day thrown in the middle of the day. So we will see how that works. I did do some research today, and it's kind of funny because I can't find anything that says that oxycodone works better than hydrocodone. But I guess we'll see. So keep your fingers crossed, because my back pain has been tremendous. The pain in my right hand on any given day can be excruciating. I don't start the Oxy until Monday of next week. So we'll see how that goes. What is coming up with the channel? I have no idea. Because like I said, I had even thought of just shutting down after I got that email from that subscriber accusing me of things, acting like I don't give a crap. And I'm trying not to take it personally, but it's hard because I take everything personally. Please know that I do care about each and every one of you. I would never try to manipulate, scam, defraud anybody. I don't ever want anyone to make a donation to my channel that can't afford to, that can't support themselves. Don't take away from you to give to me. That is not what I want. Ever. So please don't ever, 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 ever do that. I wish I could hang out with all of you all the time. I so want to be able to have phone conversations with people. I want to be able to sit in Diamond Paint and on Zoom and have this time with you guys. I only have so much time in the day. I only have so many spoons in a day. And I can't just give it away for free, unfortunately. I have bills to pay myself. I have great increase in expenses right now with Athena. I still don't have a working dryer. But you know what? We take one day at a time. We do one thing at a time. I haven't checked recently, but I think, just so everyone knows, you can go onto Patreon and become a free member. There are going to be things and stuff that I do from time to time that is going to be open to everybody, that you do not have to be a paid subscriber, like the Paint Jam voting as to what kit I should do. The last time I looked, which I will be honest, I haven't checked in a couple of days. I need to go on and look. But the last time I looked, it was going to be the Gothic edition, was going to be what was going to be this month. Emily was like, yes, please, because she's hoping I give them all to her. So unless that is changed greatly, that is the edition I'm going to be doing. I will probably do a kit up of that here soon. I will have my event check-in for my kits. As you can see, we almost completed a section. I have 2 more symbols in here to do to finish this section. So I am making good progress on devouring a good book. I'm kind of switching out every day. working on one a day. I didn't for a couple of days. So, but yeah, if the other putties come, I will do the first of that, of trying out some putties for you guys. I'm probably not going to have any unboxings unless I do an unboxing of the Gothic Edition and a kit up of that, if I decide to film that. Because I'm not going to be starting any new kits. I don't have any new to me companies or anything coming in. I might just do an unboxing of the actual shipping box of the Bella kits when they come in from the new release to share them. But I'm not sure. We'll see. So I'm not quite sure what you guys are going to see. Definitely not as much content as you did last week. I had a lot of videos that I had filmed. I do need to do my February in review video. I might film that tomorrow. I don't know that I have it in me to do it today. But yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys, thank you for spending this time with me. I'm sorry it went so long again. I guess I just had a lot to say, and thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Please let me know in the comments how you're doing. If you made it all the way to the end, let's put a puppy dog for Athena. Leave me an emoji of a puppy dog, of a doggy for Athena. Take care of yourself. Please let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're working on. And I will talk to you guys soon. I love you all. Bye, guys.